it's Topic being back with another video, and today I am going to be reacting to scary animations. That's the topic of the day. I haven't uploaded a video like months now, so very sorry if you guys were waiting for that. I don't have that much fans, but whatever. It's just been busy with the corona and like personal stuff and it's 2022 now, so let's just enjoy this year. Hopefully that the corona will go away and like people stay safe. But anyway, I'm just here to in the mood and reacting to
spooky animations.
So let's get into this.
And my parents had left for the weekend to go to our home in... It was the middle of summer, and my parents had left for the weekend to go to our home in Cape Cod. It's about a 2-hour drive away, so it's no big deal for them to leave me at home for a few days. My mum had made some pulled pork and pasta for me to heat up whenever I was hungry, and I had some...
Wait, did he say fork pork? Fork dog? What?
Money if I wanted to order a pizza or something. Things were all good.
Bro.
The first night I was alone, I stayed up until about 3 in the morning playing Xbox.
Wait, sorry. Man has money, and I don't even have $1 to my name. Bro, stop capping.
So I woke up really late the next day.
Okay.
I checked my phone when I woke up, and saw it was a little past 1 PM. I'd made plans to play some street hockey with a few friends at 3, so I threw myself out of bed and stumbled into the shower.
Okay.
I take really long showers, so when my parents are gone, I go mental.
Jesus.
I was in there for about 45 minutes.
45 minutes? Damn! That water bill! This boy said he had money. You have to pay off the water bill because that is so much. 45 minutes? How is his skin not getting wrinkly and turning into some freaking monster? That water bill, bro. Yeah, you have to pay for it. He said he had money.
And I heard my back door open.
Ooh.
I immediately froze, since obviously I was supposed to be alone.
Naked.
I waited for about 2 minutes, ears trained in trying to hear anything else. Nothing.
Get out of the shower.
I figured it was just the wind, or maybe my parents.
And who the hell wears boxes in the shower? Bro, come on.
Were home early, so I turned off the shower, wrapped my towel around myself, and slowly walked down the stairs to check it out. The bathroom is directly upstairs from the back door, and the thing is pretty loud when it opens and closes.
No, I didn't know.
So, the stairs to the kitchen, where the back door is, are pretty tight and walled in, so I can't see into the kitchen when I walk down. Even though my house is old as shit, and each step on the stairs makes...
This guy said my house is old as shit. Bro. House is old as shit.
It's a super loud creak. I still took my time and tried to be as quiet as possible. I probably took 45 seconds walking down all of the 12 stairs. When I get to the second to last stair, right before I could see around the corner into the kitchen, I take a little breath to compose myself. In my mind, I knew I was being stupid. There obviously wasn't anyone in the kitchen. There's no way I wouldn't have already heard another noise. And there's no reason for them to still be in the kitchen, even if there were burglars or something in the house.
Who don't rob you?
After sort of mentally chastising myself for being such a wuss, I sort of chuckled to myself for being so stupid, and just normally walk the last 2 stairs and turn the corner into the kitchen. Standing about 2 feet away from me, in the middle of the kitchen,
what the hell is that?
A man staring straight at me,
Ew,
perfectly still, with a massive smile across his face.
What the fuck?
He's just staring at me.
He's like...
The thing I remember most vividly wasn't his face or his smile, but his arms. They weren't just at his side. He held them in the strangest, most abnormal position I've ever seen. They were where one would normally hold their arms, but he had rotated them to the point where they were almost completely reversed, as well as lifting them up and a little bit behind himself. I don't know why I remember this so much, but it's just the most demonic, abnormal position I've ever seen. Honest to God, I think I almost had a heart attack right there. Looking
Honest
back,
to God.
I can realise how fucking
Same, I
creepy
would
the
have,
situation was. But in
I would have had a heart attack if I saw that right there. Damn.
the moment, I just took a step towards him and punched him as hard as I could in the jaw.
Cow.
And then this kid woke up. Yeah, this kid woke up. But no way. He's punching an old, dirty looking, all freaking disgusting, shaggy hair looking piece of shit. Bruh! Punch him in the jaw. Bruh! Get out of here! Get out of here!
Sort of half slapping, half pushing him towards the ground.
You know.
The second I connected, I beelined up the stairs, dropping my towel in the kitchen with my heart beating out of control. I fucking sprinted into my room
I fucking
and locked the door behind me.
I love this narrator.
I quickly
So
put a chair
funny.
up against the doorknob, like you see in TV. Almost
Bro,
without
everything
thinking,
you see on TV
I immediately
is
called
not true,
911
idiot.
and, nearly in tears, told the operator what happened.
Oh.
Called 911 and, nearly in tears, told the operator what happened. As I sat on the floor of my room in practically the fetal position, I noticed that the light coming from the gap between my door had stopped. The fucker was standing outside of my door.
I love this narrator.
There's no words to describe the feeling I had. I was paralysed with fear, watching the shadow across the bottom of my door shift in tiny ways.
How would you know if you were there? Like, you could be
I
hiding in
stayed
your parents'
balled
room.
up, staring at the gap, praying that the man would just go away for what seemed like an hour. All the while, the
Who wants to
911
slap you back?
operator was asking,
Because that's cat.
"Sir, are you there? Hello?" I didn't want to make a noise. And even if I
already
wanted to
knows
move
you're
my
there,
arms
you
to
piece
bring
of
the
shit.
phone up to my mouth, I don't think I could have.
Yeah,
Eventually, the light returned to the gap, and I heard the faintest of footsteps slowly creaking the wooden floorboards as he walked down the hall. It was silent for minutes as I just sat there curled up, unable to even speak.
Naked.
Fear does funny things to the body. I heard banging on the front door, and the sound of 2 officers entering my house. I finally felt safe, and I opened up the door to the 2 of them standing there.
The
I
hell?
almost cried.
You see those officers? What the hell?
And the sound of 2 officers entering my house.
No, that officers.
I
nah.
finally felt safe, and I opened up the door to the 2 of them standing.
Yeah, they're not even worried. They don't even look like freaking actual officers. They look like cartoon. You know the cartoon like officers. And why are they so bothered? Like, makes no sense.
Standing there. I almost cried. Nowadays, my parents never leave me home alone, thank God. And I check every lock on the house before going to bed. I still
those
get
big
nightmares
windows, like,
occasionally,
everyone can see you.
and my heart starts racing whenever I see someone standing still. But I'm doing alright. Even working with sketch
You get
artists and a
scared
few
from
lineups,
someone
the police never
standing
found
here.
whoever the fuck was
The
in my
dumbass.
house. That sends shivers down my spine every time I look outside,
And why
half
can't I build a window
expecting
like
to
that?
see him standing across the street, smiling under a lamppost.
What music? Why did I have to add that in? It makes it extra creepy. Oh, that was a roller coaster. Damn. There is actually another one, and it's called Road Trip. Yeah. I might watch that too. I don't know.
This encounter takes place several years ago, in a remote part of the Australian outback.
Australia, bro.
For a bit of background, I'm a pretty
I live
built
there.
6'2" dude, and I was around 26 years old at the time.
No one cares.
I was on a road trip with a mate, travelling around the central Queensland outback in my old, semi-reliable Nissan X-Trail.
Okay, no one cares.
We're both
You guys
massive
are just
science, zoology nerds, and
No
had
one
heard about
cares.
this amazing dinosaur trail out this way.
No
which is
one
basically consisting
cares.
of 3 areas, Winton, Richmond, and Hewenden, that have had previous dino bone discoveries, still have fossils, as well as a seriously awesome dinosaur track with preserved foot imprints. We were staying at a place 3 hours from Winton for a couple of days. and were pretty keen to check out this trail. So, we
was
made
this
the
guy
decision to
narrating
do
or
the
just
6-hour
freaking
round
going?
trip in a day.
First person.
We were pretty ambitious and stupid back then. We left at 9 AM the next morning. Car packed with lunch, several litres of water, and my trusty GPS. And off we went.
Back.
It was a long drive, and halfway through, my aircon decided to cark it. If any of you live in or have visited Australia in the summer, you would know that
it's
it's
very
brutally
hot.
hot. So I'm sure you can imagine the 3-hour trip without aircon was hell. To make matters worse, my GPS also stopped working, as the map software didn't recognise the area we were in. Luckily, I had an old Refidex in my back seat, but it was pretty tough to revert back to map reading when you're so used to a computer screen telling you where to go.
True.
Especially given we're talking about the Australian outback here,
Okay.
complete with
This
dirt
guy
tracks for
mentions the
roads
show all the
and
time.
very limited signage. But I digress. Finally, we make it to the trail, and kick around there for a couple of hours.
What? What the fuck?
I just felt like sighing because it's ridiculous. It's a scary road trip. What the flip does this gotta do with you being scared that shit your pants? What the fuck?
It's pretty awesome. Then we decided to make the trip back, as it was starting to get later in the afternoon, and we didn't want to drive back in the dark. As we were about to leave,
Oh, what
this
the
gnarly
hell?
old guy,
Get
who appeared
this.
to be an employee of the trail company, dressed in all khaki camouflage gear, asked us about
The
where
hell?
we were from and where we were heading. He gave me the stink eye when I was vague with details,
The
but my
flip?
mate told him the name of the town we were staying at.
Why would you
He took
tell
no
him?
liking to my mate.
What? Why would you tell him? This guy looks like a freaking already looking like a serial killer. Looking like he stumbled from murdering someone. What the fuck?
And he laughed when he told him about our lengthy journey. Apparently,
sure.
we had taken the long route, and there was a much quicker way back that would shave about an hour off our trip. We jumped at the directions he gave us, which were all verbal, and we wrote them down.
Bro,
Off
you
we
don't
went
even
on our merry
know.
way,
he
thinking
just
how lucky
lied?
we were that we met this old dude, who gave us some sweet intel.
Oh,
on the shortcut
dude, this
home.
guy looks like a freaking pedophile.
But I can't deny, there was a definite creepy vibe coming off him.
Oh no, I didn't know.
Based on the
Oh.
directions he gave us, we went winding along several roads in an area I'd never been in, and eventually settled straight back on a narrow dirt road. We were supposed to reach an intersection after about half an hour of driving, take a right and continue on that road until we got to a main highway that would take us back. After about an hour and a half of driving on this dirt trail though, we still hadn't reached the intersection. I was starting to freak out a bit, thinking we'd missed the turn,
Bro, this
but
guy
my
just
mate was completely
jinxed
chilled
you.
out, and was sure that we'd get there eventually. I think he thought I was driving too slowly, but there are kangaroos out there, and they're dangerous if you hit one.
Bro, they'll die.
We'd been travelling for quite a while now, and it was getting later and later in the day. We'd been travelling for quite a while now, and it was getting later and later in the day. And it got to the point where the petrol in the tank was only a quarter full. There were no
Dang.
houses, other roads or cars in sight, and I was really not comfortable with where this was headed. The middle of nowhere.
Yo, look,
In a
why would
remote
you?
area.
Yo, if that was me, I wouldn't even go there in the first place. I'd just go, I don't give a fuck.
In the wasteland that is the Australian outback. There weren't any trees, only this dirt road, and desolate, dry bushland as far as the eye can see.
This man
I
popped
stopped
out
the
of
car and
nowhere.
told my mate to get the binoculars out of the back, to take a look around in case there was any landmarks. Yes,
Mission
I
2
carried
is actually pretty
binoculars
good.
in my car, and I still do. He obliges, and I can just make out a house-like structure not too far in the distance, so we made the decision to head for that. We figured it could be a house, and maybe the people would be nice enough to give us some petrol to top us up, and some better directions to get us out of there.
Yeah.
As we neared this structure, it became apparent that this was no
No
house at all.
way.
We pulled up out front, and see that it's an old caravan that's been burned to a shell from the inside out.
Oh,
It's still got 3 blackened partial walls up though, so we can't see all the way in.
The heck?
And it looks like someone's been there recently, because there are animal bones strung up all over the place, and a cow skull at the entrance of the caravan. Some of the animal bone things even have grass or horsehair woven into them, and they're arranged like decorations. Then we see this hand-painted sign that's been staked into the ground, with the
No
words
way.
Moonlight Motel written on it. My alarm bells are ringing loud and clear. I nudge my friend and say, let's get the fuck out of here. But he's distracted by something in the distance. It's a car, coming in the direction we'd just come from. It
What
must
do
have
you
only
know?
been 10 minutes behind us the entire time we were driving, but I didn't see it once. It's kicking up a ton of dust,
It's pink,
which
red.
indicates that it's coming towards us fast.
What the hell?
It's at this point we both hear a creepy scratching sound coming from the burned out caravan, like someone scratching at the wall from the inside. I move a little closer to try and see what it is.
Why would you do that?
And there is a person in there, peeking out at us from a hole in the damaged wall. Then, this childlike voice,
Are you?
that's obviously a grown man imitating a little girl, giggles and says, "Are you here to play with me?"
No
My
one
mate and I both
think
look at each other, and we book it out of there,
Poop.
back into the inner sanctum of the X-Trail. Just as I'm about to reverse out, the other car stops just behind my car, with the high beams on. I can't see the driver, but they're in my way, so I can't reverse out of there. I have no choice but to drive forward and turn around that way, narrowly missing the State Motel sign. As we're turning to leave, the driver starts to blare the horn, just hammering it for no reason at all.
How'd you guys escape?
I just sped off back in the direction that we came, and thankfully the other car doesn't follow. It's getting to twilight at this stage, and pretty dangerous to be out on these country roads once it's dark
This way you have to take more
because of the
extra
aforementioned kangaroo
gas.
situation. But we're feeling a bit better, as we managed to navigate our way back to where we came from, the Dino Trail, and even start to joke around about what happened. The person in the other car was probably just honking at us to get our attention to help with directions or something. I pull into the parking lot and go to the front desk area of the company that runs the tours. I explained that we had gotten lost on the way back to the town we were staying at, and the lady there was kind enough to give us just enough petrol for the ride back. I couldn't help myself, and I mentioned to her that her workmate was a real jerk for giving us those weird directions. We figured there was no way that we could have messed up with the directions that he gave us. At this point, she gives me a weird look, and asked if I could describe him. So I describe him, and her face goes funny, and she says, "That man doesn't work here. I saw him talking with the tourists today, and my boss had to ask him to leave.
No
He
way.
kept trying to get the details of where people were staying, and telling them that he had vacancies at his place, and they could stay there. The Moonlight
No one
Motel."
cares about bacon seeds, whatever the fuck that was.
So, to the creepy old dude, who was pretending to give helpful directions to a couple of city folk, to trap and potentially murder them in your lovely accommodation, let's not meet.
Damn. I feel like this one was like a coincidence-ish. I don't really know, you guys leave it in the comments down below, but this will do it for today's video. If you want me to react to more, just leave it in the comments. Just comment, right? Just comment. And the link will be in the description down below for the channel that I reacted to. And that was today's topic, and I'm gonna beam you out.